Alrighty, guys, welcome back to Decentralized Discussions. This one may look a little bit different, and life happens, different schedules happen, and we couldn't make it in real life this time. And I think next week, John, you're going to be in San Jose, so we're also not going to be able to do an in-person podcast for you guys next week as well. So this little kind of sub series, it's still going to be part of the same thing, but this one's just going to be called Decentralized Discussions Abroad. And yeah, we're gonna, this is gonna have to happen a couple times as me and John have different schedules. Certain times my schedule is kind of all over the place, and this stuff just happens. But I did want to thank you guys for tuning into the last two episodes. A lot of good feedback on that, and it's just going in many ways that I expected. And so just want to thank you to all the viewers coming in every week and hearing us talk. But with that being said, be sure to follow me and John on Twitter, YouTube. Everything will be down in the description, and would appreciate the support as well. I go live almost every day. No set time, just because, like I said, my schedule is just crazy. But yeah. And as well, last thing, we got a Discord coming. It's going to be called Blockchain Network. Everything for Web3 education, content creation, just sharing, and go in there, find collabs, stuff like that. More info very soon. There's a detailed breakdown on my Twitter pinned to my Twitter profile, so go ahead and check that out. But with all that out of the way, welcome back to the Lux Fiat channel. It has been a while since I've said that. We're officially solo on the Lux Fiat channel now. And yeah, this is going to be awesome. We got my boy John here like usual. Me and him are pioneering this podcast to new heights. And so let's just start it off with John. How the fuck are you doing, man? How has this week been treating you?
Doing great, man. Like you mentioned, we had to do the podcast a little different, this week. But when it comes to just doing podcasts or anything in general, it's all about being able to adopt in the world, right? And I think that's where you could actually go ahead and grow as a person, and especially with what is going on in the crypto world, right? So it's if you're able to go ahead and adopt to your circumstances, you're able to go through anything. But yeah, this week has been pretty crazy. Crypto is one of those where you just wake up and it's like the sky's falling, and then the next day it's like, we're going to the moon. It's like a really bipolar, market to go ahead and be in 24/7. But yeah, man, I think this has been actually a really great week. I thought today was Sunday, so I'm not even aware of the days that I'm going through, man, which is quite interesting.
That just means you're a busy, busy man. You got a lot
Yeah,
on your
man.
plate. I mean, you told me you woke up pretty late today. And so
Yes, sir.
that's just the life of a businessman, the life of a grinder, as you would say,
Yep.
the grind set, the mindset. And yeah, that's great, dude. There's a lot going on in crypto, just a lot of, what's the word? Just like lashback, I guess, for just what crypto is and what it stands for. Obviously, the government does not understand crypto at all, and we've seen it this past week exactly how much they don't know and how dare I say ignorant they are to this topic. And we got Gary Gensler coming to Binance, Coinbase, and all these big exchanges that people use every day and have trusted since day one. um they're being sued for malpractice and securities laws and stuff like that. And then you also have the flip side to that, which is Gary Gensler being outed as a um, market manipulator, a insider trader, if you will, with taking a short on Bitcoin after all the suing happened. And it's like, bro, if you're not gonna advocate for crypto, why are you buying it? It's kind of like it's that weird middle ground. And then as well today, we woke up and saw some absolute massacres happen to the market. Almost $1 trillion has been taken out of the crypto market in just under 24 hours. So we're gonna hit all those topics today. And yeah, this week has been very much crypto week. And dude, it's
Hell,
literally
man.
the 10th.
Crypto hell, crypto hell, welcome to hell.
Welcome to Decentralized Discussions Hell Week. Fucking
There you
where we
go.
talk about all the
There you go.
bullshit that's happening right now, bro. But let's start off with just the suing. Let's start off with the first thing that happened and set this all in motion was the SEC is going after crypto exchanges for malpractice and things like that. And yeah, so apparently Binance and Coinbase have broken a couple crypto laws, and Gary Gensler wants to try and sue them. So, John, what do you think about that?
How to mute my own mic because I've noticed it was like going in and out. But I think it's a complete joke, man. Honestly, like I mentioned earlier, I think you and I have been through this multiple times. Whether it's a stock market, whether it's a crypto market, it's the same BS over and over again. It's all about creating manipulation and having in FOMO. It's so crazy how literally last week, even 2 weeks ago, we had the talks about Pepe this, Pepe that. You know, Bitcoin's gonna hit 100K, and then now it's like the world's falling apart. Crypto's gonna die. It's quite interesting. I won't say that it's not, some very kind of scary times to be in, especially right now, because we're actually seeing, regulation going into action a lot quicker than anybody ever expected. And it's like we got kind of like left almost holding the bag. Like I'm pretty sure 99% of people never, ever, ever, ever thought about what happens if they do ban crypto, And I think that's kind of the reason why everybody's kind of freaking out. But to answer your question, I would say, I think it's BS. I think it's another scare tactic to go ahead and see this massive sell-off in the markets. I'm sure that a lot of them have been through liquidations, a lot of people going long. And then that's the reason why we've seen that big dump. I mean, even just altcoins and meme coins, just today alone have dumped over 30 to 40%, even probably 50%, right? And to those that are subscribed to my channel, Altcoin John, I've always mentioned right now I'm in the case where I would rather day trade or swing trade a lot of these tokens, whether it's Bitcoin or altcoins or meme coins, because this is the space you do not want to be buying or holding the bag. Like I think altcoins and meme coins in general are gonna dump a lot higher. Yeah, everything's red. See, everything's
I'm
going
just
to go
showing
ahead
the
and
viewers.
dump a lot higher. And I really do think, in my opinion, that there's going to be a massive buying opportunity for everybody before the massive bull run happens in the next 1 year to 2 years. It's going to happen whether we want to accept it or not, right? Regulation or no regulation, right? I could tell you how many actual exchanges I'm in that is a centralized exchange, and that's only crypto.com. And if crypto.com, goes away, will it affect me? Yes, 100%. I think it would affect a lot of people to buy crypto, but it doesn't mean there isn't options. If we go ahead and stay in the decentralized side, we're probably, worst comes to worst, regulation does happen, we're going to be trading cryptocurrencies like back in the day when you were trying to buy shit for the dark web. That's worst comes to worst, which is actually not that bad if you really think about it. You know what I mean? It's just that we probably now have become a little bit more lazy on when it comes to buying these assets. Like now it's a lot easier. You could go anywhere, probably even go to the store and buy, crypto from an ATM machine. With regulation that they could ban a lot of those stuff. But I think overall, I think this is bullish for the market, in my opinion. If regulation does come out, it's actually really good for the market in order for that massive bull run to be coming up in the next couple years. So at the end of the day, I'm with the regulation. Honestly, I'm not really too worried about it. Worst comes to worst, crypto does get banned. You just move out of the country, move out somewhere else. You know what I mean? I think that's really the worst comes to worst, but I think that's more of a positive, man. I think there's a lot of countries out there that are embracing, cryptocurrencies. We have Singapore and Dubai that are embracing them, and I'm sure a lot of other countries are going to be embracing cryptocurrencies. So worst comes to worst, if people are in a country where regulation does really hit you, um, you're just gonna have to move. And if you don't want to move, then you're just gonna have to deal with the BS. You know what I mean? You're gonna have to deal with the laws. You're gonna deal with the regulation. You're gonna have to suck it up. We're in a place where you either deal with it or you do something about it. And that's the only thing. You can't do in between unless, which I really hope, everybody gets together with all these big exchanges and they fight for it. But if we go back to what happened with AMC and GameStop, well, what happened to it, man? We were in that space. Let's talk about that real quick, because that kind of reminds me of we thought the stock market was gonna crash down to zero when that happened. Everybody's like, "Oh shit, they're gonna get sued. There's gonna be people in jail. The stock market's over. The economy's over." Let's talk about that, man. We were both in AMC and GameStop, and this is the only reason why we'll bring this topic up is because this kind of reminds me of what is going on right now about the space. Tell me what happened during the time when we were holding GameStop and AMC.
So, I mean, the best way to do that is to just start from the beginning, right? What caused the whole shenanigans of, you know, GameStop and AMC? Why did they do so well? Why were they such a big thing? And that's because Robinhood decided to cut off trading. And as one of the biggest, I would say the biggest exchange out there, because it's so widely known and popular, that you just locked out 90% of all investors from trading a single asset that is doing really well, right? GameStop went from what, 50 to like 480 at peak.
I think even like $600. No?
Bro, think about that. That's like, let's say like a 5x, right? That's only a 5x. And I know I'm saying only, but in crypto, 5x's happen every single day, dude. Every day.
But that's not to mention options, man.
Yeah,
Options, that would have been like over 50x, man.
that would have
Like
been
maybe
way
even
more.
1,000%. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
But it's just like, I think, well, we'll get back to this story. Well, they cut off trading, and then from there, they've never recovered. AMC had a run up to like $72 back in June of 2021. And since then, where's it
I wish
at?
I would have.
Under
I wish I
five.
would have sold my bag, man, when you told me.
I think I sold all my AMC finally at like $25 a share. So I did pretty well on that, and that's what ended up going into all my cryptos and stuff, and getting into Magic Craft, and then eventually getting that into NFTs. But so it all kind of worked out well. But the thing is the government, and I don't want to get too far into this, but the government likes to keep certain things to themselves. And that's all I'm going to say. And so when you're entering these financial markets, it's good to be up to date on every single political factor there is. So if you're in a financial market, you're trying to do it full time, like it's almost a necessity to just stay into politics, because politics have every single thing to do with the financial markets, anything that
And the
happens in the
economy.
government. Well, that goes into the government, and how much they're printing, and just we could have a new law get passed somewhere in the middle of buttfuck nowhere, and somehow that'll affect the markets. It's crazy. And so I think it's good to just stay up to date on everything, stay up to date on politics, and from there see how everything turns out. But once you pay attention, you realize how much has correlation with each movement, and it's pretty crazy thing,
And
especially
how
if you're
much
into
manipulation is
analysis.
going on too.
Exactly. And so it's just a tale of manipulation. And I mean, you got Gary Gensler suing these crypto exchanges, but then
Biggest clown
Coinbase
ever.
Coinbase is like, wait. You're gonna sue us, but why'd you put a short on Bitcoin or like right before you made that announcement? So now Gary Gensler is being looked at for insider trading and manipulation and securities laws and stuff like that. So it's like, do we really need somebody in office, well, for the SEC, who's also breaking the laws of trading, but is also advocating for every single other person to abide by? It just doesn't make
Exactly.
sense. It
And
really
also,
doesn't.
Also, don't forget he was part pretty much of FTX as well. Like he knew what was going on, and he never took his time to actually like see what was going on. Like what FTX was doing didn't require a brain surgeon to find out what was going on. If you really looked into the books, and there's a lot of these projects, even with Terra, with I think it was Terra Luna, when they were doing their I forgot what kind of pegging it was. I think it was like pegged to like Bitcoin or something like that. Like if you really had a common sense, which is not so common nowadays, and you actually took the time to do research and analyze how the project actually worked, you would have had red flags from the beginning. But it just seems like people don't question anything until like everything starts crashing down, you know? And with Gary Gensler, which is really interesting, like this guy has promoted a lot of projects too as well. He's been part of pretty much FTX. Not to get too political into it, but we all know there's a lot of Democratic money into that was given, from FTX to our politicians. So that brings other red flags, and the fact that they let this happen, they're saying that they want to go ahead and protect people and protect investors. It's BS. We could go down a big rabbit hole and like point out clues onto the reason why, but it all really comes down onto control and manipulation. That's all it really is, to make it very simple. They want to be in control of everything, and they want to be able to manipulate everything. And when nothing goes their way is when they go ahead and jump in, when they're getting fearful of what is going on out there. I think it's not even Gary Gensler at this point, man. Honestly, I think my opinion, it really comes down to the central banks. If blockchain really does come and take over, and we don't need banks in every country, it doesn't matter what country you're from, every country pretty much runs on central banks, on money printing, on politicians, manipulation, corruption, all of that. If and we're not saying this doesn't happen in crypto either. We're just saying that it's more transparent. You can find all the actors of what they do with blockchain enabled. But if a technology is here, just put yourself in this position. If you're a creator of the bank and you have all the power through the bank, and you're able to control, manipulate everything going your way, and this new guy around the corner comes out with this new fancy technology called blockchain that comes here to destroy what you created for centuries and years, and it's been a way to control, manipulate, people. It's the way you've been able to pretty much create everything you ever wanted. Do you really want someone to go ahead and come and disrupt that? Exactly. And that
Sorry,
and
I
I
had
think
to
that's
mute my mic because
yeah,
my
you're
dogs are
good.
going crazy. But nah, dude, like why? Nah, nah, no.
And that's exactly what's going on right now. I don't think it's just Gary Gensler. He might be, it could be, but I really do think there's more entities at a higher end that are not ready to deploy this technology yet because they want to catch on. And they had plenty of years to catch on, but now they're realizing, they're like, oh snap, like this is actually real. Like NFTs that are worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, people are actually, willing to go ahead and pay them. There's money here to be made. Let's go ahead and tax people, but let's go ahead and figure out how to do it. So I think it's really one of those where they're really kind of lost. They don't know how to implement these rules and laws, and that's why they're trying to cause all this fear, because they're so behind the game and they want to be a part of it. They just don't know how.
Right. And I want to kind of add on to that too is like I honestly don't think they are trying to do like their own crypto or their own NFT, maybe a coin. Maybe that makes sense for a bank. Maybe a coin. But honestly, like what like the basis of crypto is blockchain. Blockchain is the technology behind it. And I think if they were to finally just integrate that as their payment system, it would work a lot better, because then they don't have to wait like I just got a check for X amount of dollars. It was a lot, but I put it into my bank. I had to wait 10 days to even access that money. And it's like, okay, if you had blockchain technology, that transaction would go through like that. It would be almost instant.
Yeah.
Maybe I'd have to wait a day, maybe two.
And it honestly, and it probably took 10 days because of what is going on with the financial world to begin with. There's a lot of questionable things going on in the financial world, and I think banks are freaking out. Um, but like you mentioned, I think it's really, really what it is that they want to go ahead and create their own CBDC, and I think that's where the world is heading. And in my opinion, it could either be for the good or for the bad. But in my opinion, I don't think it's for the good. I think this is just going to be a form of having more control, a lot more access and more manipulation to the banks that we already have. Like why do you have to wait? Let me ask you this: why do you have to wait 10 days for your own check to clear?
because they don't have the
Because
money.
they exactly. Exactly, you know what I mean? Or they're just waiting for yeah, or they're just waiting for someone else to deposit it and give you that money. You know what I mean? It's like there's just so many BS stuff that are in the financial world that we're currently in that I think it's so slow that could really benefit a lot of things like what you mentioned, like a check. You know what I mean? It's like if they could clear within seconds, why can't they clear within seconds? You know? It's like why does it take, a couple days to transfer money from like the stock market to your bank or vice versa? Waiting 2 3 days, you already know that's like you're missing out on what is going on in the market. You have to wait 1 week for your money to go ahead and come in. It's like it's just a hassle that is not needed, in my
Well,
opinion.
let me put this into perspective. I so when I sold that monkey reject way back when I got into NFTs for $4,000, for 4.4K, that one NFT, I transferred half of that into my bank account instantly. Now I was like 2.2K. Why was this check not cleared in that long? All I did with that NFT, with the profits from that NFT, is I took it from Phantom, put it into, I think at the time was crypto.com, and then from there either just used my crypto.com card or instantly transferred it back to my bank. You know,
Yeah.
like that's what blockchain is making things faster, making things more innovative and giving things more room to grow and, get things to their consumers faster. And I think that's what a lot of our government is missing right now. Is right now all they think of is crypto and NFTs are scams, and all these people are not good people, and whatever. And it's like, okay, but that's not really the basis of what we're promoting. We're promoting coins and everything, but what we're promoting to you guys is blockchain technology and what its capabilities are. You could build an entire world on blockchain technology. Do I believe in the metaverse? Not really. But like, if you could build an entire fucking world on blockchain technology that's fast and, gets everything to their consumers quick, why wouldn't you do it?
Because they're scared. They're
Exactly.
they're 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 scared of the technology, They're scared. They don't if you take a few steps back, like you mentioned, like how you deposited that check, when you sold that the NFT. One of the answers to what you said, how you received it so quick, it was because there was money in the market. There was a lot of money in the market last 3 years ago. They were giving out money literally left to right. You'd be able to apply for a credit card and they'll give you all these credit cards.
Hmm.
Now it's getting a lot tighter. And I think you and I could both agree, like, you know what I mean? Like I got a good handful of credit cards, 2 years ago. But before that, it was a lot difficult to go ahead and get these exclusive offers, like zero interest, like all this stuff going on, right? Now they've gone to a point where, like, we talked about this last week, you and I personally, how the market, it's seen a decline and it's coming from the banks as well. There has been reports of people depositing less money into their savings. They have less savings into it. I literally went to US Bank 2 weeks ago to deposit a check, and then I see that they were offering 4% on your money, on a money, I think it was called money maker account or money market. It's kind of like the stock market, sort of like you put the money and they give you a percentage. They're giving out 4% in 6 months. Like that's really good, bro. If you really think about it, like 4%, like a bank offering 4%. When have you heard that? And I'm sure there's a lot of banks out there right now coming out with these crazy incentives, like, get 3% for your money for, depositing this much for 3 months or 6 months, or, it's because you want to encourage people to put money in their bank accounts. And right now we're in a situation in the economy worldwide, wherever you live, that not enough people are able to not only save money, but they're also not spending as much money as they were 2, 3 years ago because of all the free money they were giving in. And the free money comes in from, back then they had a lot of startups, raising. They had literally startups left to right. They were paying people probably 30 to 40% over their salary. You know what I mean? They were doing all of this. I worked for a few startups. The last startup I worked for, shut down because of the SVB bank. So like we're seeing that in the tech world, with even with blockchain companies, there's a lot of projects here and there, venture capitals putting in money, you had the government putting in money, helping businesses, and now all that money is now affecting the economy worldwide. There was way too much money in the system, and with all that money being in the system, now we got to a point worldwide where everything's not only getting expensive, but wages are not going up as quickly. Interest rates are going up quicker, and so is rent is going up as well, and credit card interest. You know what I mean? So now we're getting to a point where like if the money that was really good 2, 3 years ago and no longer is as good anymore because of inflation, and people are not able to spend or save money, what happens then? You know what I mean? They need to go ahead and come up with a solution in order to get the world to spend more money again in order to keep this economy up and flow. You know what I mean? So like we're running into so many issues where I think that we're in a pretty effed up situation worldwide. And I think, in my opinion, blockchain, I wouldn't say it's going to be the saver, but it's definitely going to be the market that's going to have plenty of opportunities once this debt market pops up. And once the debt market pops, there's only so much it could be printing, man. They could save it temporary, like we saw it 2, 3 years ago, where like the market was fine when the pandemic happened because we were printing money. But now we're living the consequences. Now we're going through it. But people weren't questioning anything when the money was there. Nobody was saying anything. Nobody thought it was odd that the stock market was going up. And the stock market, even till this day, is making new all time highs while the economy is going down. That's
Yeah.
a lot of questions to ask, It's like we're pretty effed up, man. I think we're in a really effed up situation. And I think that blockchain is going to be the solution to a lot of people if they know the kind of assets they should be investing their money in or what they should be doing, whether that's trading, whether that's buying NFTs, whether that's buying altcoins at a discount rate like right now. Um, I think there's going to be a lot of opportunities the next 2 years once this BS pops up. But I don't think the economy is going to crash anytime soon. I think it's still going to be like this, getting crushed for the next 2 years.
I mean, when they keep just raising the debt ceiling, it's just like, then what the fuck is there a currency for? If you're just gonna continuously put yourself in debt over and over and over until it just builds up. And, I also want to say this, and to the viewers, I hope you've heard this everywhere. It's something that's thrown around a lot if you're in this space. But if you haven't, I'm worried you might be living under a rock. So we're gonna kind of tell you now. But inflation is massive right now. The majority of the dollars that have been printed in US history has happened in the last 5 years. Over 50% of all the cash that has ever been flowed through the United States, like 50 to 60% of that was from the last year. Keep that in perspective. When
Yeah.
next time you ask why is gas so high, next time you ask why is McDonald's raising their prices, why are these companies charging $10 for a box of cereal? Why do you think? It's because the government has been very, I don't want to, well, they've been very bad with money. They could use for a money management class for sure. Um, but again, like we just keep raising that ceiling, man. Keep raising that ceiling, and at that point, it's like, then why am I so worried about my debt? If you can
And it's going to
just,
continue to go. It's going
yeah,
to continue to go, man. The debt ceiling is going to continue to go up higher until it no longer can. So people are going to be
Well, until the
going
people
into
we
debt.
borrow from get pissed off and start a war over it.
Not even just that. It's gonna, and they're not gonna do it, man. I think we live in a debt. We literally live in a debt slave system where we live in a world where debt is like the reason why we do a lot of things, the reason why we go to work, the reason why, everything's on debt, cars, houses, clothes, food. You know what I mean? When you have to put your food onto a credit card, that's a massive problem unless you're doing it to get reward points and you're paying it off monthly. But if you're putting food onto your credit card in order to get through for the month or for the week, that's a massive problem. And I think that is what is going on right now. I don't think people are spending money on new cars or new houses. There is a good percentage of people, those that have been doing very good in their lifetime with money. But for the people that are doing decently with their life and they have a regular minimum wage job that are making under a couple grand a year, under probably, I think the minimum would be considered, at least here in the US, I think minimum would be under, below average is around 40,000 or 30,000. That's
Well,
like
average
regular.
for the US is 40,000.
40,000, yeah. And then most of those 40,000 are not even they're not even like our age. They're actually older folks.
Yeah. And
So that's a
also to put
huge
that
problem.
into perspective, you still in the US or at least in California cannot live off of $40,000. You just
Yeah.
can't. Like
You have to at
that
least be making 100K
40,000,
plus
yeah, you have to make at least 100K plus in California to
to live
even live here.
decently. Yeah,
To live freely, and that's loose free. You have to make a minimum of 100K.
at least, yeah.
And that's
80
the
to
sad
100K,
part.
you'd be living okay.
Something that always sticks in my mind, and it's funny because this was back when I was in like third, fourth grade. I remember one of my teachers, we were going over like how much it is to kind of uh rate like live as a family in the US. And back then the average was 18,000.
That's insane, dude.
In let's see, if let's
You
say I
can't
was
even
in
buy a
fourth grade.
Toyota for 18,000,
Yeah,
man.
let's say I was in fourth grade. It was 2009. We're in 2023. So 13 years, it's gone up by $22,000. Like the cost of live, like average at least, or no, to be able to live actually. So it'd be 100K. It's gone up almost 10x, almost 5x actually, because it's 18,000. But like that's insane. That is insane. Like I don't even know what to say honestly after thinking about that. Like that's just
Yeah.
crazy, dude.
It's so crazy, man, that you and I could definitely not make it out in this world doing like a regular 9 to 5. Like we have to do it into risky investments, if you want to call it, like crypto and NFTs, or anything that's high risk, high reward. Unless, like, probably if you go into like real estate flipping and you're like, flipping these houses that are like that, you're putting in a lot of money for a quick, high reward into it. But our generation's kind of effed, man. I don't think owning houses is going to be a thing for us. It's going to be one of those where it's either you move out of the country, you move out of the state, or even then you just make a lot of money. You get lucky with a really good investment and I wouldn't call it fully luck, right? But I would say that's really the only way our generation would be able to go ahead and push through. I think we're in a situation where inflation, like you mentioned, is getting up higher. If it did go up that high, that's insane. It doesn't surprise me. But I think in order for this to really, and I think this is where the benefit comes into everybody that's even listening to this, because we've been having a lot of action, man.
Yeah. No,
We
for
have a lot
sure.
of action, and I don't think we've been, at least I haven't been marketing it like crazy. Like I know I want to, you know what I mean? My goal is to go ahead and market everything that we have going on like crazy. Um, but I think, I'm pretty impressed with the viewers that are watching. What I would go ahead and say is that the reason why I'm so bullish in crypto, and it's not just the crypto market, man. I think there's a lot of assets that you could go ahead and do really well, which is, stocks and options. That's a good way. Yeah, we have gold and silver. We have real estate, obviously being one of the biggest ones, and collectibles, whether that be NFTs, watches, Pokemon cards. As ridiculous as it sounds, some people are willing to pay over 20-30K for these kind of items.
Well, those are the people with fuck you money. Those are the people who are like,
Exactly.
I have $30,000 to spend on a fucking Generation 1 flawless Charizard Pokemon card. and now I get to own it. And so, like, that's honestly a lot of crypto is those people with fuck you money.
That's
It
what I was
it
gonna
really
say, man.
is. Like, it's the people with fuck you money that have millions already that are like, fuck it, give me another 10x, I'll take
And
it,
have an
whatever.
opportunity too, man. And have the opportunity, like you just mentioned. I think that's key with what you just said. A lot of people in the crypto world have already been very wealthy or have been successful in their previous life. So when they got into crypto, they had more of a chance to go ahead and risk buying Bored Ape Yacht Clubs, these NFTs, this meme coin, and put 100,000. Like, who do you know that hasn't done really well could go ahead and put? I've heard of people that I know someone that put in over a little bit over 100K into Dogecoin before it popped, and he made a million. He was already a millionaire, but he made a million off 100K. So like, you have to be some sort of wealthy already to even have 100K just chilling to go ahead and risk it into, dude, it's Shiba. Like, did I say Dogecoin or what did I say?
You said Doge.
I meant Shiba, man. Shiba.
Yeah.
Like, think about it. Like, who puts 100K on Shiba, dude?
I still gotta find the dude that put 5K on Sheev and made 5 billion. Like,
It,
that's the person I need to find.
isn't that crypto? Didn't Crypto Messiah did that too?
I don't know.
I don't know how much he put. I think he claims he put 1,000 and he made 80 million or something like that
Yeah,
in
that's
like less than
crazy.
6 months.
Yeah, like those little things, but it's at the end of the day, invest what you can afford to lose. That's really the lesson. These people can afford to lose 100,000, right?
Some
But
of them, man. Some of them, not
but
all of them.
yeah, not all of them. Some of them are still like not very good with their money, but I'm gonna say most of them can you know comfortably lose 100,000, right? So you just got to put that into perspective for yourself. How much are you willing to lose? Let's say you get 2,000 a month. Are you willing to put 200 a month in to lose? Like, this should be treated as if you're going to the casino.
Exactly.
As much as the crypto people will say, "Oh, this isn't gambling, this isn't, speculate." It's 100% speculation. It's 100% gambling. Like
100%.
as much as I love the crypto space, nothing, like we were saying at the beginning, nothing is set in stone. Crypto could be gone
Nothing's
tomorrow.
guaranteed.
Crypto itself could just be gone tomorrow.
We can
And
literally be banned for speaking about what we're speaking right now.
yeah, exactly. And so it's crazy. But um but yeah, I do I do value these conversations we have because I think at least me and you, John, we kind of just don't give a fuck about, you know, what well, we care about what we put out there, but like we also will put ourselves in certain situations to make sure the community as a whole gets better. Right? Like a lot of the
Yeah.
things we do talk about honestly shouldn't really be said, and we can get censored for it, I think, but
But
we're putting it
I
out
think we're
there.
doing it. Yeah, I think we're doing it at a level where it's
Yeah.
not too deep. And I think you and I, for all those that don't know, we've been doing this and we've been wanting to do this for years. And we've been doing this like we before, Billy and I had a Telegram with like hundreds of people that were pretty much just like calls on like options and like crypto plays and all of that. And then we saw this slowly started transitioning. But we've always had this mindset, and always from the beginning. And like Kyle and I always talked about this, and we just never really pushed it due to the fact that we knew that we just can't say much. Pretty
Yeah.
much what I'm trying to say is that
There was a lot of
what would I
stuff in the
say?
behind the scenes that happened
Yeah,
that kind of formed our channel, and at that point it got to be too much. We went our separate ways, decided to do our own things, and then at the perfect time, I would say, we got back together and fucking was like, let's do this, let's finally get it going. And this isn't just going to be a Lux Fiat thing. This is a Billy blockchain, Zoltaif, altcoin John. I just fucked up your name so bad. This is a Billy blockchain and I can't say your name, bro.
I was
Altcoin John duo. And we hope to add other content creators to the mix as well. We hope to turn this more into kind of a content group that's constantly pushing out content for everybody. And, we're all going to kind of push out the information together. And
Yeah.
so this podcast will grow. We'll have guests on here eventually. We kind of want to
Interviews.
we just want to kind of establish the groundwork, have you guys get to know us a little bit, how we stand on certain things. And, hopefully in a couple weeks, we could start bringing on some project founders, some people who just work in the space as developers or artists. And so
All kinds
that's,
of people.
yeah,
It's going to be like a
that's,
networking hub for not just us, but for everybody to go ahead and do. And I think with the Discord thing, we haven't really talked about it, but really, I'm sure ideally what we will definitely go ahead and do is like do a little bit more of these private calls where like things that we could actually talk about because there's so much we'd actually can talk about. I'm sure a lot of people know, but censorship is real. I just want to go ahead and say that, and we have to be very careful what we say and what we don't say because that's the reality of the world, and we have to go ahead and accept it. Like I said earlier, it's either you fight it and you get destroyed. I mean, look at what happened to Tate,
oh,
and
I was just
or you
gonna
just
say
adopt to it.
something. I wasn't gonna say his name, but I was gonna say, look at Gpog.
Top G, bro.
If you say it like that, you say it backwards. It says top G. So Gpog. Look at Gpog, man. That guy. That guy. Yeah,
Interesting. That's what we could say. Interesting figure.
yeah.
But honestly, there's a lot of crazy things, man. And I think you and I like know so much that it's almost kind of scary, but we really don't. But we only know to a degree of like what regular people might know or might not know just due to the fact that we really like look into this and we start like we're able to go ahead and analyze this kind of things and actually look into it and come up with our own ideas, right? And speak about it. And I think that's the biggest thing, man. I think the biggest thing is not a lot of people are willing to go ahead and be wrong in public. You know
Right.
what I mean? I think you and I are okay with that. And if we're wrong with anything that we said, like back it up with some information, or
Yeah.
I'm
Tell
more
us
than
down in the
open to,
comments.
yeah, send me a link or like show me or tell me the reason why you think, I'm incorrect or we're both incorrect. I think that's the great thing that I could definitely say that's a pretty positive living in the world that we live in that, as long as we're open to criticism or opinions, it's a good thing, right? So I'm not saying that I'm 100% right. At the end of the day, everything that I said is my opinion only. And I could be just a crazy person that thinks that this is the way the world works. And there would never be really verification behind it, unfortunately. But that's the way I think. And I think a lot of the things that you start putting the puzzles together, you start questioning a lot of things. You start to realize, like, okay, wow, this makes a little bit more sense. Like why are we pushed into a world in debt? Why shouldn't blockchain be a part of a part of the world? Like, why is CBDC a threat to humans in general? And we could go on for hours, but I think the most important thing that it all comes down to it's be open minded, have your own opinions, and always do your own research, and then you come up with your own conclusions, and then you guys could go ahead and start up a podcast like ours and do this kind of things.
Yeah. Have us on as guests. Let's have a debate. Maybe we don't see eye to eye. I would love to come on someone's podcast and just debate them on different things. Nothing hostile, nothing, too friendly, but like screw it. Now my dogs are going crazy, so I'm sorry for that right at the end too. But I do want to just preface the whole podcast and just kind of wrap it up with holy shit, we're probably going to have to cut. Give me 1 second. All right, guys. So sorry about that cut. Dogs were going absolutely fucking nuts for no reason. But yeah, I do kind of want to wrap up the podcast with again, these are just our opinions. No one's right, no one's wrong, and we're always trying to learn new things about Web3. So maybe we got something wrong, and exactly, you know why this is happening, why that's happening. Tell us in the comments. I would love to be educated on something that I wasn't before, that I was just speaking from, kind of just thought. And, we're very accepting to that. We're never going to, see a different opinion and be like, oh, fuck you. You don't have, whatever. I think that's a big problem in the world nowadays is no one's open to criticism. Everyone kind of gets butthurt at any little tiny criticism that you have. And I see that in my work as management. And, even telling someone that they're doing something wrong and they've been there, let's say someone's been there for a while and, you tell them they're doing something wrong. I'm definitely someone who does this a bit, you know, they get fucking mad. They're like, I've been here for this long. I know how to do my job. And I'm like, excuse me, I'm your fucking manager. But anyways, I think that's a big
Funny
problem,
man.
and I think that's also a big problem with crypto as a whole. And I think once the community itself gets better, gets more educated, and this is gonna sound fucked up, but as soon as the community gets more educated and becomes a little less butthurt at every little nook and cranny, I think we're gonna be looking good, and a lot less people are going to see crypto for just scams and degenerates. So, and I think
Before
that
you end
goes
it,
into,
man.
hold on.
I-
Before, let's see. So we, we as a community really need to stop using stupid ass words like degen and fucking like at least just degen off the top of my head. But to me, I think that just gives a lot of bad connotation to the crypto market, NFT market as a whole, because that's exactly what you're doing, you know? If that's how you're portraying yourself, that's exactly what you're doing, you know? So let's be business people. Let's be coherent on what we're actually doing for the space, and let's not bring any negativity to it because honestly, once crypto becomes more positive as a whole, the markets will become more positive, and you'll see that when the bull run happens. But anyways, what were you gonna say, John?
I want to go ahead and say, what are your thoughts on Solana, dude? I really doubt it's going to happen, but I'm actually surprised. I just saw your tweet right now that you posted on Twitter a couple hours ago. Solana being at $14, man. Like, I never thought I'd see a day
It's
like that.
back up. It's back up to like 18 ish. I'd
15
have to
bucks.
15. Okay, never mind.
1556 is up 50%. So
It.
that's this is a crypto world,
I
guys.
mean, it's the
This is what
same
we're talking
thing.
about.
I mean, if you think about it, it's the same thing as Bitcoin going down to 25K. It's the same thing as ETH going down to 1700. Same thing as Doge being at 6 cents. It's the same thing. I think it's just your usual dip, your usual, um, just bleeding
Let me ask you
markets.
this. I know we kind of talked about this last podcast, I think, or we probably talked about this, you and I, privately. Do you think Solana could go below $10 again in the next 2 years? Because I feel like a lot of altcoins are going to dump even higher. And we saw a 40% dump today. I think, in my opinion, this is the reason why I'm not buying anything right now. Because I would definitely I would buy. Like I just saw on Twitter right now that BNB dropped down to $57 literally today, and it went back up to 200 and something dollars. Like, if I ever saw BNB at that price ever again, or even Solana under $10, because I'm waiting right now on the sidelines. I'm like literally just waiting, holding on to cash, waiting for the opportunity for a lot of these altcoins to go ahead and dump an additional, because I think there's still another additional 50 to 60% crash that we could see on altcoins heading in the next year and a half. And I'm hoping I could get a lot of these altcoins, at a discount. But do you think we could see Solana under $15 again? Like, at least around the $10 to $8? Because I think that $8 to $10 seems pretty reasonable.
Let me say this. Since the start of the bear market, even when Solana was 100 plus and started to show signs of a bear market, I said on Twitter, and you could go back and look at my tweets from a couple years ago. I'm sure people know how to go back to a certain time date, but I've said that Solana will eventually go under 20, under 15, under 10, and under 5. We haven't seen it under 5 again.
Really?
And I think that is definitely going to come. I think we're seeing that right now. I think with all the uncertainty, there's going to be a lot more sell off, especially with more Solana being unlocked within the next couple years. So
Damn.
Solana could definitely go under 10, and I definitely think it could go under 5.
Dude, I
Um,
wish that happens. If it goes under 5 and $10, bro, I'm for sure buying. Because I think
I'm
right now
buying a
Solana's
shit
kind of.
ton.
I feel like Solana, in my opinion, I always thought Solana has been overpriced, bro. To be honest, but it doesn't really come down to what I want and what I care, right? It all comes down to what the market believes. So if the market believes it should be up $10, we might never see the $5 ever again, right? But I think we both pretty much agreed almost that a lot of altcoins will dump even further. So even if we were to dump, like I mentioned, I think there might be another additional 50 to 40% dump. If we were to see that, then that Solana would be at the 10 to $5 mark. So if that was the case, now that I said that, what altcoins do you think are bullish to go ahead and leave for the people to go ahead and check out on their own? Because I have a few altcoins that I've had in mind that I'm literally just waiting for them to dump a lot more. And I'm actually happy that this crash is going on, man. Honestly, because these are buying opportunities. I'm waiting for the bull run to happen. But what are your top 5 coins or three that you would say that you're literally waiting for them to crash in order to go ahead and buy them?
Honestly, I'm gonna leave most of that topic to you because I don't look at coins as much. But my top five, when people ask me, always are, and you're probably gonna say, "What the fuck?" But think me telling somebody who's just getting into crypto, right? And you said altcoins, so that's excluding Bitcoin and ETH, right?
Correct.
Okay. So I say ADA, I say Solana, I say Matic, I say BNB, and I
Okay.
say what's the last one? Um, CRO or
Good, dude.
Vet
It's
or Vet.
interesting, dude. That's
Vet.
interesting. I
I would
literally
replace
have
BNB with Vet if you want to get a little more altcoiny. So yeah.
Man, you pretty much almost said what I was gonna say, you know what I mean? So like I would say for sure Cardano. ADA is a really good one. I
Been
would
at
definitely want to
330
see it.
before. It's at what? 20?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to look at right now. Right now it's at 26 cents. And we could capture Cardano,
Bro.
which I think will happen, like what we just talked about, under 20 cents. It's at 26 cents right now. If we could, it literally has a 30% dipped, like literally today, I think, or last night. If we could catch Cardano under 20 cents, it's a massive, massive opportunity. Solana, I'm going to be looking into jumping into Solana if I could get it under $5, even
Well,
$10. I'm
I
willing
would
to pay
say
for it.
I would say look at accumulating under 10 because
Yeah,
5 is a very low point.
yeah,
Me personally, I feel strongly, and I've been calling it for years, that we will see under $5 Solana. But I would start accumulating if it goes below 10 because
oh yeah,
between that
100%.
range is a very big kind of squeeze point where a lot of people have bought in. So it could go either way. It could be people
100%.
selling out because, oh shit, I'm at my cost basis, or it could be people buying more because it's like, okay, I'm at my cost basis, I should buy more, you know.
100%. Yeah, so I would like to go ahead and see Solana under 5 in between $8 to $10. I think that's a good buying opportunity. Um, as well as 1 inch. I think if we could get 1 inch under, it's at 20, I think 20 something cents, under around 10 cents, bro. 1 inch, for all those that are not aware, it's a DeFi tool, pretty much like a Uniswap. It's a really, really, really important, coin in our ecosystem, or just DeFi tool in our ecosystem in DeFi to go ahead and utilize. So I think the utility behind that is very massive. Uniswap's at $4 right now. I think its all-time high was like probably 50 to 60 bucks. But I would leave everybody off with BNB, that for sure, especially now that China has allowed their users to go ahead and start trading crypto. So we have that, VeChain, ADA, Cardano, BNB, Binance. I think that could definitely hit over $3,000 in the next bull run. I think we could see that at $3,000. 1 inch, and I forgot the most important one, XLM. I think we could find XLM. I think it's at 8 cents, isn't it?
It's at like, no, dude, it's below 5, I think.
Shut up, man. I'm gonna have to start stacking up then, because I was like literally waiting for XLM
I
because I
haven't
think it's
looked
all
at
time.
it, but
Yeah, I'm checking it. Oh, it's at eight
I was
cents.
gonna say I should be close.
That is amazing.
Yeah,
Like its
I
all-time high was 68 cents, bro. Imagine that.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's an 8x.
So
But
like
yeah,
even if you were to put $100, you can make a shitload of money, depending on what shitload of money is to a lot of people. But I think if you $100 to make a couple grand, pretty worth it.
agreed.
But
Agreed.
yeah, that's pretty much it. I just want to go ahead and leave everybody with that opinion of, a couple altcoins for them to check out, because I think that's very important with this bear market that we're in right now and going into the bull market.
Agreed. Learn about TA, learn about these price points and where you can find them. With that being said, guys, thank you for tuning in to another episode of Decentralized Discussions Abroad, this time with my boy John, Altcoin John. So go follow us both on YouTube, Twitter. All of our socials will be down in the description in form of link tree so you guys can see everything at once. Um, look out for the
My link tree
Discord.
got banned, by the way, man.
Oh, you got to make a new one. But go ahead and do that. Remember to like and subscribe and turn on that notification bell for the Lux Fiat channel and our YouTube channels, because we hit all the different topics of crypto and Web3 between the both of our channels. And yeah, it's definitely something you're not going to want to miss. And as well, finally, to leave it off, I'm going to leave a Discord link down below. Everybody who joins through that link will be given a special role in the Discord for when we open up on June 14th. So definitely check that out in the description. And yeah, guys, thank you for tuning in. This has been your boy Billy and your boy Altcoin John. We'll see you next week.
Later.
Sick ass.